Right, let's talk LEDs. And every RC car always wants to have some form of lighting. Well, unless you're a buggy that you're going to be thrashing around. But for my case, I'm looking to put some LEDs into my Lunchbox build. So how do I go about finding the right values? Now, you can do the calculations using Ohm's law. So that's an equation where you find the known values and you then extract the information from the equation. So the equation for Ohm's law is V equals I times R. So that's volts equals current times resistance. So we need to know how to work out what resistors we use on the LEDs. So once you've done your calculation using Ohm's law, you can test to make sure that you're happy with the values, and you need to then wire up, or in my case I'm using one of these breadboards which you just plug in the components, and you can then I've used like these little jumper leads because I used to do a little bit of electronics, so still got these jumper leads from the day, and they use to provide power to the points where I need them to. So what we've done here is we've got the positive rail. It's going to come in here, and you can see a little resistor here. I'll explain that one in a moment. You've got power going into the positive pin of the red LED and out of the negative back into the positive pin of the other red LED, out to the negative, through the resistor and out to the negative rail on the jumper. And I've done that pretty much the same, except for the white ones I've wired individually. We're going to be doing them. So these ones I've wired what is known as in series. So you've taken the negative lead of one of the LEDs, placed it to the connection on the positive lead of the other LED, and then the negative lead of the second LED out to the negative rail or to your negative supply. Whereas on the white LEDs I've done them singly, so the positive into the positive lead of the LED, out of the negative one to the resistor and out to the negative rail, and I've done that individual for the white ones. And the reason being is the white LEDs typically pull between 3.2 volts to 3.8 volts across the diode, and the red ones typically pull around about 2 volts across the diode. So this is why you can wire 2 of the red LEDs in series, but you can't on the white LEDs. Therefore you need some slightly different values for your resistors. So what I've actually done here, this is a 270 ohm resistor. So because these two are wired in series, I can limit that using Ohm's law is around 150 ohms, but I've gone a little bit higher than that because I want to account for the full voltage across the battery to a depleted battery, and that voltage will vary slightly, so I've gone slightly higher with my resistor. And equally with my white LEDs, I've used again a 270 ohm because Ohm's law said 180, but again accounting for the different power from a nickel metal hydroxide to a LiPo battery and being full charged and depleted, I've accounted for those different voltage ranges. And just to make sure that I can account for virtually all battery packs, this resistor here, this one is going to go in the power out from the battery pack, and this is going to be the main ballast resistor, and this one here is 100 ohms, so this will allow me to use the different values of batteries and account for the different voltages between charged and discharged. Okay, so we need to test. So here is my 7.2 volt nickel metal hydroxide pack. I've connected the plus rail through the resistor, and then these will connect to the LEDs. Let's connect the negative rail and you should get light. And there you have it. Quite bright for the white ones and quite a good brightness for the red ones. So now we know those values are okay and they work. Great, now we can do the permanent wiring up. So what you can see here is I've wired the LEDs up. These are the white ones, and I've just used a white cable for the positive and a black cable for the negative. And you can see I've got the two LEDs, and you can see I've used a bit of heat shrink, and you can just see here, you can just see the bulge of the resistor. So that's the 270 ohm resistors in each of the negative legs, and so they're now wired up and tailed, so they're going to go into the fronts. I've done the same again with the red LEDs, and as you can see here, they are in the homemade LED holders. So I had some holders left over from a previous project which I've used, and now they're inside the back. So they're the two red LEDs. So you can see that I've created a positive lead going in to that LED. That's the positive leg. Out of the negative leg of that one to the positive leg of the other LED, and then out of the negative leg of that LED with a black wire that's going to come back, and we're going to collect the rest of the bundles. Okay, so that's so far the back ones are in place. I now need to concentrate in putting the white LEDs into the front. So after a little bit of fettling, you'll see the rear lights come round there and the cables come through, and I've put this expandable sleeving here. So you've got the rear ones come through, you've got the black and the red, and you've got the ones from the front, they come through like so. So you can see I've loomed those round, bring those round and to here. So we're going to now pop these and solder these up, so all the blacks together and the white and the reds together. So technically we're going to just switch all the lights on all at once, and I've just loomed them around the inside of the body like so, and yeah, there you go, that'll do nicely. So now I've soldered all the black wires together and heat shrunk them separately and soldered all the whites and the red ones together, so that they're all together now. And then I've put a complete waterproof bonding around the whole of the joins, so they've been separately insulated, and now nice join is completely watertight, just in case. So there we are. So that's the wiring done for the LEDs.